Good morning, good afternoon, good night, all our global community from PM officers. We are so happy in this new initiative in our reflections, PM Officer and Friends 2021, the present and the future of the project and product management officers. Um, we are very, very happy. And, first of all, myself, because we have a wonderful lady from India, Priya Patra. She's the founder of Women PowerUP Network, among many other things. But it's wonderful that we have people from other countries that currently are working very hard in so many initiatives about project management, about PMOs and beyond. So that's why for me it's a huge pleasure to have with our global PM officer community in the Reflection PM Officer and Friends 2021, our guest, Priya Patra. Priya, thank you very much for coming to share your thoughts, your experiences, and everything you want to share. Thank you.
So thank you, Leo. First of all, congratulations for starting such a wonderful initiative. And it's about the present, the future of project and product management offices. Awesome. Because things have changed over the last 1 year. And I think this is an apt time to get global perspective on, how things have changed and how the future will be. And thank you so much for inviting me to share my thoughts here. A little about myself. So my name is Priya Patra, as Leo has already introduced me. Um, I I am the Vice President Outreach of PMI Mumbai chapter. So amongst all other initiatives, I have certain initiatives that I am doing for PMI Mumbai chapter, like the PMI chapter exchange, where I collaborate and connect with different PMI chapters, and we co-create events. It's like building a virtual collaboration, virtual team, and bringing in diversity of thoughts, just like you are doing, Leo. The similar way of finding out how we are different culturally, yet we are all aligned to the single vision of providing customer value, making our project successful. Right. I'm also program manager and I work with Capgemini. I lead digital transformation programs for our Fortune 10 organizations. Within the organization, I lead the Agile community of practice, and that's where I've learned everything about Agile. It is again a virtual collaboration platform, and where we come together every week and share our thoughts, our comments, our experience, what we have learned from outside as well as within the projects or Agile. And it is through these communities that I have been able to, progress myself, become more confident. The way I'm speaking to you now, I don't think 5 years back I could have done that if it was not for these communities. And I've learned so much from the communities, and I truly believe what you give back definitely comes back to you. So thank you, Leo, for inviting me for this session and giving me an opportunity to introduce myself.
Uh, Congratulations for everything that you are currently doing, and every obviously about all your initiatives in several silos, no, in several communities. You have mentioned it, very interesting things, agile community. Obviously, the your current as a founder, no, great great initiative to put together all females, no, for to say something that we need you for together leading a better world. For the other side, all the chapters initiative you have done many connections. It's amazing. We hope to do something like this in the near future together, obviously. And the others things that you have on hands, a leading digital transformation. This is It's not the future. This is the present for all organizations. It doesn't matter which kind of industry, which kind of size, private, public. This is the current great projects that we must lead from a project and management, no?
Yeah.
Products, office, PMO, or another kind of description or title that we wish to put. But it's not only a PMO. We know that there is several many other types. But just for our audience and be more clear or do the easy way or the things easier. No, we are going to call it PMO, but it's open to other kind of value management office, agile management office, agile product management office, product management office, etc., etc., etc. Thank you very much for coming and sharing with us. So let's start. First question.
If you ask me one sentence, I will say yes. One word, yes, it is required. Because I truly believe some amount of governance is required, but that needs to be lean. It cannot be something which is like eating up my bandwidth too much or creating a bottleneck. It shouldn't be like that. It has to be lean. In the agile world, because I will talk more from the agile point of view, in the agile world, where everyone is running towards, achieving certain velocity or delivering certain value to their customers, we need someone. We need somebody, whether it's a body or it's a couple of people working together or it's an organization structure to keep this train on track. Who will do that? We have to cross pollinate learnings, good practices, bring in standardization. It is necessary. These are the opportunities that will help us to go lean. And with these techniques, I think a PMO can provide the project and ecosystem of collaborative culture, and which is very, very much necessary in this world because none of the projects are working in silos anymore. They are interconnected. But yes, the PMO with just enough governance, right? Well managed risk. We will ensure that it is like we can ensure that success is assured. And that's why I say yes, a PMO is required, but maybe a little aligned to a lean and an agile techniques so that we can bring in that collaboration for success, not only with the stakeholders, but with the project manager, whoever, customers, end users. That is what we should achieve for. And if you call that as a PMO, yes, that is a PMO. If you want to give it a different name, like an agile PMO or whatever you said a few minutes back, we can do that. But definitely a governing body is required.
Wonderful. I really like it. An ecosystem to add value, all involved. Organizations, customers, members of the PMO, on agile mindset with any kind of techniques as much as necessary to obtain or to get the objectives, the main or strategic objectives, but without lose the side of the radar, the rest of things that is more necessary than ever. No, wonderful. I like it very much, this kind of view. Wonderful. Priya, second question.
So again, I'm aligned to being agile and lean. And I would think a PMO should be more of a servant leader. The skills that are required would be more of a servant leadership. A policing or cracking the whip will not work. And we will just, kind of run after the project managers and the stakeholders to get something done. But if we operate like a scrum master, like an agile coach, be the custodian of the process, of the good practices, coach and mentor projects and project managers, driving them towards the outcome, removing impediments for a successful delivery. I think those are the skills that are required for anyone who wants to be part of a PMO in this modern world, in this future. That is what is required.
I like it. I like this reflection. Yeah, because coaching and mentoring
I don't
is not.
think, do you think that that happens in traditional PMO?
No, I
Mm,
don't think so.
yeah. So that is what we have to move towards, and those are the skills that are required. And only when we have these skills, we can assure success 100%, because everyone is committed towards it. They see a value in themselves. Otherwise, it's like a police telling us, "Oh, do this, do that, do that." No one wants to be monitored like that, right?
Right. No, that's wonderful because all members of a PMO should be mentors and coaching as well. Not only the leader of this PMO, PM officer, director PMO, whatever, in the traditional mode, no, or on the old-fashioned way of work that only the lead, the role responsible about all this structure, all the PMO, all these teams act acted, no, was acting as mentor or coaching. No, no, no. Nowadays, as you currently say, in agile environment, all members we need to be and in this with these skills for helping us each other because between all of us are creating not the future, the present for a better future. If we all working together, is I think will be more successfully the value that we are going to share and add not only organizations, just a business unit and the rest of people who is working with us directly as stakeholders or indirectly as their suppliers. For
Right.
example, at the end, the final customer who is going to buy the products and or services that we are selling or we are offering.
And that reminds me of one incident where we are a services organization, so we work with multiple vendors, right? So how do you, and the experience that the end user has lot to do with the vendors or the suppliers who are within this project ecosystem. So it's not only managing or motivating your team members who's within the organization, but across the boundaries of the organization as well. And I wrote an article for PM for the PMI's award-winning magazine, and it was about channel partners. How do you motivate your channel partners to give that superlative experience to your end user? And of course, I wrote from a project management point of view as a project manager, but of course, it is also aligns to a PMO as well, because you have to ensure their KPIs are such that they are motivated to give value to the end user, because a lot of interaction that the end user has is also with the partners. So that's something that I would like to bring out here. It's not internal to the organization anymore. It cuts across the boundaries of the organization as well.
Full agree. By the way, I love the PMI publish this kind of works and studies surveys that they are giving us more information about these kind of things that I don't know why many times we forget. We need to take it on count. And I love this kind of information that PMI is sharing on all the community. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 3.
Yeah, so role, I will say it is truly a leadership role. So let's go beyond the job description or beyond, the role name. Think about it as a leader, generally operating as at a strategic or a tactical level, maybe. That's the role is such that it is expected to understand the vision of the organization, the broader context of the organization, and changes that will be undertaken even beyond the programs that he or she is leading, right? And this role is like usually is I think it should be played by someone who is an experienced project leader with lot of implementation experience, and some, it could be an advisory services to the client management team as well. So I think it is purely to do with leadership, a little direction and guidance, because you have to change your leadership style based on the type of program or the type of team that you have. Sometimes you have to be directive, sometimes you have to be assertive, sometimes you have to be collaborative. But whatever works, we have to mix and match and get that done. I think that's how I define the role of a global director, or maybe the head of program and project portfolio. It is just to ensure that you facilitate and ensure that you are aligned to the larger goal of the organization. And it is purely a leadership role, I would say.
A huge challenge. I love it. I love this reflection. Question number 4.
So this is from my experience of working in a large organization, right? We see that there are two types of PMOs. We have one at the enterprise level, like on top, and we also have business units. Okay, so where there are PMOs with associated business units, and I think that model is quite good, because on the top, people actually don't know what's happening in the business unit. It is like having a global exposure, but what is happening locally, only local people can understand better, and they can work with the project managers on the ground. So I think the model that I have experienced, which works well, is the enterprise level PMO, who reports to the CEO or the owner of the organization, right? Who has the strategic view of everything that the organization is going to do, or the vision of the organization. And then we have business level, unit levels PMO, and that business level PMO could report to, it's like a spot. Okay, it's like a hub, and then we have spoke model, and these spokes are like the PMOs in the business unit. They would probably, the spoke would probably report to the business unit head, with a dotted reporting to the enterprise PMO head. So that's something that I have experienced works well. And I think that is something that we can move forward with. And this is something that has more insights into what kind of projects and programs are being executed at the ground level, and makes it easier to facilitate the success or enable the success for projects and project management programs.
Yeah, it's wonderful reflection, because any organization, well, depending of each organization, they can have programs, they can have portfolios.
Yeah.
In several business units is different, no, depending. Depending the industry, depending the so many variables into the formula. So it's very complicated. That I really like it, your point
I'll
of
give you
view.
an example here, Leo. So I've been working in the pharma, developing software for the pharma industry. It is totally different than manufacturing industry. So will that enterprise PMO work for both these business units equally? We will need to have some tailoring done, and that's why we say it is easier to have business unit wise or domain wise PMOs, so that they understand the nuances of the projects and the programs that are getting executed.
Fully agree. My last consulting services into pharma industry, one of the biggest, is just like you have mentioned it right now. Exactly. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Question number 5.
In one word, I will say it is bright. Okay, so the future of PMO is bright. Okay, so but as I said, right, yeah, you are right. We are in a fragile environment right now, and just as we tell our project managers, our teams to be resilient, right? So it is not being anti-fragile. It is not being resilient. It is being anti-fragile. Okay, so let me explain what is the difference between resiliency and anti-fragility. So resiliency is something that you get those pressure, but you can bounce back. And anti-fragility is that you get that pressure, but you shine out even brighter or even stronger than before. Just as mankind is now doing out when they're coming out of COVID. Obviously, we are much stronger than what we were before, right? That is what we are looking at. So PMOs, like any other structure in the organization, would have to be anti-fragile. We will have to put in lot of strategic agility within ourselves. It's not that we planned something and this is the process that is there. We have to follow this process. That cannot happen anymore. We have to adapt, inspect, adapt, learn, and move forward. And when we are moving forward, we have to go lean. How can we go lean? By applying all technologies, all tools that are required. We cannot still be back on those Excel based some plans or something that cannot work anymore, because things are changing very fast. We don't have time anymore. Leverage technology, put in lean processes, and be anti-fragile. That is what I think is required for the future of the PMO, and it is bright.
Wonderful. That's why I love to hear some other kind of ideas, reflections, point of view, because everything together is going to help us to be better. And when I was listening, okay, all your speech, is for me, just taking your speech in this answer, is becoming to risk an opportunity, becoming a problem into solution.
Yes, let us
Wonderful. I love it. I love it. Priya, I'm having a very good time. I'm convinced. I'm truly convinced that our audience are enjoying as much as we do right now.
Sure,
but we are at the end of this talk. This, I don't, an interview is just a title, but it's just a talk between colleagues. But the most important is your point of view for us. Okay, so Priya, the final reflection.
First of all, let's plan for a PMO. I have seen in many cases that they don't have a PMO. Only when a project becomes red or is in trouble, they get around 2-3 people and they want to salvage the situation. And these people usually have other work to do, and they are not fully committed to that, right? And it cannot happen just in time. It has to be planned. So when you are creating it, plan it. And we have to change the image of a PMO from being an enabler rather than a policing entity. That is very important. And this can happen only when the project managers, the PM community, the stakeholders are all aligned to a common goal and a vision. So this is my recommendation, because we don't want PMOs to be, an auditing body. We want the PMOs to be our partners in delivering value. And we can do only when we are all aligned to the common goal and vision. Our KPIs should not contradict each other. It should actually be aligned towards a business value. Now, I'll give you a small example, right? I was in a project where the customer was looking at what is the automation coverage of your test cases. Okay. And they were counting 75%, 90%, 80%, whatever, right? Percentage. Industry standard is 75%. Why are you low? Okay. So we can hike up the numbers. It's not a problem. But are we looking at how it is impactful? What is the outcome? Is those automation test cases able to catch defects that are getting leaked into production? That is what we have to look at. We have to look at the outcome. So as a PMO, it's not how many projects I audited, how many projects are using my standard processes or etc. But is it what is the value that I have delivered to the customer? If as a project manager, community and a PMO and the stakeholders are all aligned towards that, I think we are all set. But that is what is actually required today.
Wonderful. Yeah, absolutely agree. um, as a PMO setup is very difficult because at the beginning it's not very clear what kind of value they should add or they should
Yeah.
benefits, no, and services and so many other things. That's it. But it's even most difficult to improve a PMO if it's not delivering value or is not acting as entity resolving problems about all the project
Yeah.
portfolio program management projects and products is even most difficult. No, and we call it in my opinion, of course, no, is redesign. You already have a setup, you are running, but lately what we need to improve it. We need to check if we are really adding value, if we are
Yeah.
really resolving problems, we are really offering services and benefits. That is very complicated. Yeah, this is a challenge. That's why we are trying to share our thoughts. Priya, wonderful, wonderful. I really love it. All your reflections, because it's very important to hear many other people's in all over the world.
Yeah.
Priya, Patra, founder, no, well, among many other things, founder of Women PowerUP Network from India. Thank you very much for coming to share your thoughts, your experiences, and your point of view with PMO Global Community. In our new initiative, Reflections PM Officer and Friends 2021, the present and the future of the Project and Product Management Office. Thank you from Barcelona, España.
Yeah. Thank you, Leo. And goodbye from Mumbai, India.
Greetings until Mumbai and the rest of the wonderful, lovely country and people of India, and obviously the rest of our global community in the rest of the globe. Thank you very much. We are going to listen next Monday. Will be available next Monday, 29th of March, for all our global community of PM officers. Thank you very much, Priya. Greetings and
Thank you.
be safe.
Sure.
Take care. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Bye bye.
See you very soon. Bye bye.